Hi, I'm Michelle, real estate expert with the Michelle Home Selling Team, and I help first-time home buyers and sellers save time, money, and I help make the process smooth. This is your January 2026 market checkup for Southern California, and today we're going to be breaking it down by county. We're looking at residential single-family homes, and we're using last month's data since the current month's numbers are still being finalized. Let's take a look at the first month of 2026. All right, first up is Los Angeles County, and what really stands out to me when we look at Los Angeles County is how stable pricing has been over the long run, even though the market feels slower than it did a couple years ago. When we zoom out on the 5-year trend, prices are still significantly higher than pre-2020 levels. Let's go to 2020 right here and pre. All of this right here. So see, prices are still significantly high. So while month-to-month movement can look choppy, the long-term direction has remained resilient. This tells us we're not in a collapsing market, we're in a rebalancing market. All right, so let's look at last month specifically. Let me go back to the year. Okay, here's last month, 1.431. So let's look at December 2025 specifically. Average prices dipped slightly month over month, which is normal for December's closings. What matters more is that prices are still holding near recent highs year over year. January 2026, the average sales price is and I'm going to round you guys because these are big numbers, is 1.4 million. Let's look at the average list to sale ratios. January 2026, 97.5. That means that homes are selling below asking price. Let's take a look at months of supply. 3.1. Yes, we're still in a seller's, but we're going towards a neutral market. New listings, 4,448. Active listings, 8,584. Inventory remains tight. Even with a small seasonal increase, we're still well below what would be considered a balanced supply. Average days on the market, 47. Is taking 47 days to sell a home. And days on market are longer than last year. We could see that they're up 11.9%. That tells us that buyers are being more selective, but homes that are priced correctly, they're still moving. Let's look at pending and closed sales. Pending sales dipped 1,802, down 21.7% from last year. Closed sales, they also dipped 1,952, down 3.5 from last year. So what does this mean? Well, for buyers, this means less competition than spring or summer and more breathing room during negotiations. And for sellers, this tells us pricing and preparation matter more than ever. Buyers in LA County right now are seeing more opportunities to negotiate, especially on homes that have been sitting longer. Sellers still have leverage because inventory is low. But the days of throw a number out and let's see what happens are gone. My takeaway for LA County is this: the market hasn't weakened, it's matured. Strategy matters more than timing. Realistic expectations are winning right now. All right, let's take a look at Orange County. And yes, you can tell I'm from California because I do not pronunciate my T's. Okay, let's change this. Orange County. And we're going to take it from the top. Average sales price. Average sales price in Orange County, $2 million, up 9.3% from last year. Orange County continues to show one of the most resilient price trends in Southern California. When we zoom out, prices have held remarkably steady even as the pace of the market has slowed. How about the average list to sale price ratio? 97%. So homes as a whole in Orange County are not selling for 100% of the list price. That's actually down from last year just by 1%, though, not by too much. Months of supply, what type of market are we in? 2, we're in a seller's market. How many new listings came on the market in January? 1,320. And how many active listings? 2,181. These are up from December and down from last year, 15.9%. Here we go. Days on the market is taking 47 days on average to sell a home in Orange County. And days on the market are creeping up, confirming that buyers are taking their time. For buyers, there's just more time to think and again, more room to negotiate. And for sellers, it's still a strong market, but pricing right from day one is critical. So San Bernardino County continues to behave very differently, and that's not a bad thing. When we zoom out, we see that prices are still significantly higher than pre-pandemic levels, but the pace has clearly slowed. Average sales price for San Bernardino County is $536,500, down 4.2% from last year. And the average prices, they kind of soften month to month for winter, and that's normal. Let's take a look at average list price to sale price, 96.5%. It's kind of, so far we're seeing it kind of similar across the board, and we can kind of say as a range for Southern California, so far it's looking at like 97%, but we can see county by county, there's pretty much a trend where homes are not selling for 100% of the list price. What type of market is San Bernardino in? 3.7. Ooh, okay. Leaning very towards a neutral market. How many new listings? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. This is a real heartbeat right here. Okay, so new listings, 1,782 in the month of January. How many active listings were there? 4,530, down 11.3% from last year. Pending sales, 896, down 14.8. Closed sales, one shy of 1,000, 999, up 5.7% from last year. How many days is it going to take to sell a house in San Bernardino? Wow, 61. We see here days on the market are longer, and that tells us that buyers are not in a rush. So for buyers, this is one of the counties with the most leverage right now. And for sellers, right here, pricing accurately and preparing the home is no longer optional. My take for San Bernardino County is that it's best described as a balanced and opportunity-driven market, especially for first-time home buyers. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look at Riverside County. Okay, here we go. Riverside County continues to show solid long-term appreciation with a slower, steadier pace. When we zoom out, prices are still trending upward over multiple years. The average sales price in Riverside County is $790,000, up 0.1%, just slightly from last year. Let me go to the 5-year. All right, list to sale percentage, 96.9. Down 0.4% from last year. Months of supply, what type of market are we in Riverside County? 3.7, leaning towards a neutral market. New listings, 2,781, down 10.5% from last year. Active listings, 6,454, down 12.4% from last year. Pending sales, 1,446, down 10% from last year. And let's look at closed sales. 1,282, down 7% from last year. Wow. And then how many days is it taking to sell a home? 58 days. So, inventory is higher than LA and Orange County, but lower than San Bernardino, putting Riverside at a balanced kind of like middle ground. Days on the market are higher, reinforcing that buyers are being more selective. So for buyers, more choice, less pressure. And for sellers, there's still a strong demand, but strategy wins. My take for Riverside County, it feels steady, grounded, and very healthy right now. The common theme across all 4 counties is this: the market has slowed, but it is not weakened. For buyers, this is a window of opportunity where patience and preparation matter. For sellers, success is about pricing it right, understanding today's buyer, and leaning into strategy and not hype. If you found this video helpful, hit that like, share it, and subscribe to join our growing community. To my subscribers, thank you so much for continuing to support this channel. I love seeing you here. Check out the links below for free resources, current listings, home value tools, and buyer and seller guides. I'm Michelle with the Michelle Home Selling Team, here to make understanding real estate simple. Wishing you guys an amazing week.